Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, January 29th, 2026. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. Trade your charts, not mine. All right. This is our only session today, so we'll do away with the disclosure. Michael Russell has gone too far on the short trade, so there's something new there. Market open. Crude, if you use add-on trades, this trade off the 20 SMA, 901.55, was a winner for 15 and 24, 39 ticks, and a one and done session. If not, you're in this short trade, as the long trade was too early. And almost hit the stop sitting up just above the session high. Missed money management by a tick, then went up, challenged the stop, and didn't get stopped out. Would still be in this short otherwise if you didn't use the earlier short or earlier long. Unleaded, two and done. We take a short trade, stops and reverses. YM showing us a get in sync long now. That bounces up a bit and right on past target, and that was too early. Move was just before market open, so that's a no trade. Soybeans, it sets up a long trade. And actually his system is in a short, so that is still a get in sync at this point. See what that does. Pound Aussie has a full loss on this long trade. Crude showing an add-on long, or add-on short rather, same, looks like almost the same trade, just a tick or so lower. Looks like the setup was one tick lower. Targets slightly lower. Wow. Michael Russell does a bounce. Yeah, that one was also too fast. All right, YM long trade, stopping and reversing to short. So we'll take a stop and reverse on this one, 2 ticks. up 207. It looks like it hit it. Yeah, touched it. So there we are in the trade. Hitting target 1, 26 ticks. And trailing. Our loss, actually 24 ticks. Our loss was 227 to 207, 40 ticks. So at the moment we're 26, and we've got stop well down below the target 1. So this will be a POQ trade. And stopping out, that gets us to power quitting. We will be positive on those 2 trades. Stopping out at 156 from 207. 51 ticks on the trailer. 24 on target. So 75 ticks on that trade. We did trigger long on soybeans, so we'll mark that up. Soybeans getting close to money management. And we have another potential stop and reverse on crude, actually. That entry is 23, so it'll be 26, 66.26. All right. Another too fast on Micro Russell, the long, 30, 31, 30, same second, 7 seconds. That one I'm afraid we're going to be in. So that's going to be a full loss. Stop and reverse at the full stop out. And we get a break even on the short side. So a loss and a break even. YM is done. So we'll put unleaded up there, so we can take a look at Micro NQ. Trade plan starts at 4 minutes after market open. So we are almost there. In fact, we're still just under 30 seconds away. But that has hit the entry and the stop, so that trade is done. Look for a new one. Yep, that trade hit the entry and the stop prior to our start time, so we'll look for a new trade there. Pound Aussie looks like it's got a new long trade. Money management is above target 1, so our first actual target is target 2. Looks like crude, although it's tracking the long, stop and reverse, keeping us in the short. Oh, I don't need to put unleaded up there. It's already done. Oh my goodness. So we'll put it back where it belongs and then just bring the micro NQ chart to the foreground. Soybeans back to the entry again. Tracking the short on crude. If you're not using add-on trades, we had this add-on long back here that was successful. That would have been our one and done. So far, we're still in the short with a possible stop and reverse to long. And we trigger the longs, 66.26 from 66.14, 12 ticks. Risk on the stop and reverse, 2 positions, is a 24 tick loss. Need new session highs for target 2 on this one. Target 1's just below the session high. This is the highest crude has been in roughly 6 or 7 months. Pound Aussie taking heat on its second long trade. Looks like it stopped out. 95.27. Yeah, definitely stopped out now. So second stop out. Long trade on the micro Russell. I got a small wick on that one. Let's see where we are. Definitely not going to need to move money management at all. That's gonna, yeah, 1727. Yeah, we'll be on target 3. Money management at target 1. Micro NQ setting session lows. Micro Russell just above the session open. And in the long trade, YM, where are we? Let's see where we are there. Session high, we're close to session highs. About 40 points. Not too far. Break-even trade on the Micro Russell, trade number 3. So lost 2 break-evens. Soybeans is long. Crude is long. Second trade, if you didn't do the one and done add-on trade, you're waiting for a new setup. You have a short and then a stop and reverse at 66.26 into the long. And a long setup on the Micro Russell or Micro NQ. Micro NQ pushing toward target 1. That's money management. That will bring us to break even. Potential stop and reverse is that just canceled. Second, both the close above the stop and the second close above the balance line. So we remain in the long trade. Take a full loss on the Micro NQ and transition to short. And a second loss on the Micro NQ. Full stop out there. Micro Russell pushing through session highs. YM also pushing up toward its session highs. Now still 40 ticks away from the session high. Pulling back a little bit there. And another long setup on Micro NQ. All right, target 1 on crude. We got a 3-tick adjustment. So we pick up 12 ticks to target 1. Target 2 will be 21. And our stop is at 27. Okay, down 24 and ouch. That's a third loss. And I had set the marker line before it touched the entry. So definitely in the trade. Loss number 3. Getting hung up in the noise there on Micro NQ. And a third long setup on the Pound Aussie. So I'm going to try one more time, and that triggers in, it looks like. Yep, definitely triggers in. Micro NQ is done. Boy, there's a fourth loss. Yeah, definitely not a good morning, the Micro NQ. You have a loss and 2 break evens on the Micro Russell. This would have been a nice trade had it not gone and just stopped us out at break even before plowing through session highs. YM does set a new session high. Micro NQ at session lows, so Micro NQ diverging from our other indices again. It's not uncommon. So we got, is it 12? Yeah, 12. So we're down 12 on crude, 21 on offering at target 2. So if we can get to target 2, we'll definitely be positive on those 2 trades. All right, pound Aussie being rejected at the 50 EMA. Back to the entry. Soybeans back up to its entry as well. And yeah, crude hitting target on the nose. Target 2 at 47, and that's where it got to. So that is power of quitting. 21 ticks on the second target. We were down 12, so it's a +9 on the session. If you were waiting for a new setup after the early trade, it was too early. If you used the add-on, it was one and done, 39 ticks. Pound Aussie testing the 50 EMA again. Micro NQ now with a new long, but we're done in that session. YM is done. Soybeans at the entry. All 3 markets moving down now. Or all 3 market indices, rather. Pound Aussie picks up target 1. So next goal is target 2. Target 1 was worth 13 pips. Let's see, 24 pip. Ooh. 5 positions, that's 120 pip loss. Second trade is 15 pip risk, so that'll be a 75. We're down 195 pips. And there is target 2. $13 and $21, 34 pips so far. 29 pips on offering at target 3. Root is done till the 10 o'clock mini session. Target 3 at 95.72. Looks like we can really, yep, we hit it on the nose. And we just went through it again. So definitely picking up target 3. Another 29 pips. 54.63. So definitely cutting into the deficit. Back to the session open on the micro Russell. Micro Russell with a short trade. Lots of time to get in this one. In the short trade on the micro Russell. That should be pretty close to, yeah, that's going to be, move down 3. That should be, yeah, that's going to be money management. So when this bar closes, stop's going to come to 64.3. There it is. And target 3 in hand. So that's a win on trade number 4. Trailing now at 64.1. And looking for target 4. Actually, we hit target 4, so we got targets 3 and 4 there. Stop out for about 3 ticks on the trailer. YM also down to session open after setting a new session high. Micro NQ and Micro Russell indicating an some upward movement. YM's not sure yet. All right, stop moving up. Now on the pound Aussie, 95.47. And our entry was 95.43. So 4 pips on the trailer so far, 2 positions there. For the 2 CADX charts I'm running, both are Renko bars. They're custom Renkos. Micro Russell is a 15 tick with a 5 tick offset, or 1.5 points with a half-point offset. Micro NQ is the other CADX chart that is running on a 12 point or 48 tick bar with a 3 point or 12 tick offset. But range bars should work just fine with CADX as well. Target 4 on the pound Aussie. Another stop move there. 95.53. Target 4 was worth 37. So we were at 63. 34, 60, 63. Yeah, that's exactly 100 pips on targets. So we're now down just 95. And the trailer has 10 pips in hand. Short trade on the Micro Russell. That's got to come down 3. It's only 11 ticks to target 1, so it'll be right there, 67 flat. So we did not hit money management. Full risk still in the trade. All right, another 11 pips on the trailer. That's 21 on pound Aussie. Micro Russell taking another run to try to get the money management. Doesn't quite get there, it doesn't look like. We're still in the long on soybeans. There's money management on the Micro Russell. Stop will come down to 68.2 it looks like. Yeah, there we are. Yep, 68.2. Looking for 65.8 for target 3. $10 so we're oh my charts are lagging again. Yeah, I'm almost 8 minutes behind on the data. In fact, I'm over 8. I'm 10 minutes behind. The only one that's going to be current is going to be the pound Aussie because that uses a different data source. Now the Aussie stop looks like it's one tick shy of target 4. 95.79 from 43 is 36. So 59 pips. We still have to make up. And soybeans, we exit at market on the stop and reverse. Yes, it is, Richard. You can not all of the YouTube sessions will be on the the Backpack Trader YouTube channel. They're in they're in a playlist, I believe. Doing well. How are you doing today? Over in Nepal. Pound Aussie doing well on this trade. Stop moves up to 95.87, 44 pips. So still down 51 on the session. Third trade. There's a $95.89. That's 46 ticks. And that puts us, and there's another move. 93, 50 ticks. So that leaves us down 45 after 2 losses this morning. Micro Russell getting a win on the short. And now in a long trade that's, well, this is a big trade. Big wick on this one, so we'll come back to target 2 with our target, but it's already starting to trail. It's at 70%. So our trailer is reduced the risk almost to nothing. 68.9 for the trailer. Break even way up, setting 71.7 is target one. And that stops out at 68.7 for a very, very small loss. So that was trade number 5. Entry on that long was 69.1. And we stop out at 68.9. Excuse me, not 68.7. So 2-tick loss. Okay, glad to help. What did you find? Pound Aussie still moving the stop up. $95.99. 46 ticks. 39 ticks remaining. We're down 39 after 2 losses and then all 4 targets on this trade. Right, final trade, if it triggers in on the micro Russell, trade number 6 is showing up as a short. Or the next trade is showing up as a short. It would be trade number 6 if it triggers in. And it does trigger in. Now, 2-tick loss I would count as a break even, so that would have been a 3rd break even. So we need to move down 3 again on this one. Key levels moving us around a bit. Uh-oh, this isn't looking good. Well, didn't quite make the stop, so that's good news. There is target 3 for our exit point, or for our goal. Our first goal here. Another stop move on the pound Aussie. $96.04, so that is 61, down just 34 ticks, 34 pips rather. Money management on the micro Russell, and we stop out, so we're down. We do hit the stop, down 34 pips after 3 trades. We have a short setup now, not a very big one. No, actually, we did not. Oh, that was my mistake. We did not actually hit the stop. We missed it by a tick. And it just moved up again. It just appeared like we got there. So 607, 64. So down 31 pips. And targets 3 and 4 on micro Russell. Pushing down through the session open. That's significant. And trailer at target 4. There's a new short, 9609, even smaller trade. $62.6 for the stop on the micro Russell. We trigger into the soybean short on Get in Sync. $96.23 for the entry. No, I'm sorry, 9609. Yeah, 9609 for that one. We did, we hit it and went immediately to the stop. So that 9609, 66. We're down 29 at the close of the prior trade. This one, actually, if you adjust, if you adjust, we still are using the stop, and you didn't make that. Yeah, with just one tick to stop, I would probably adjust that one, and that keeps you out of the short. And so now we actually track the long manually. So 9609 is our stop. Yeah, 9609 for the stop. And now it's gone up again a bit. Actually, there. $96.14. 96.17. So that's 74. There's 21 pips we need to pick up. Nice final trade for micro Russell. Trailing down to 58.1. Oh, let's see. Now that trade is a bit, too early for the 10 a.m. mini session. My data is lagging big time. Just 10:02. I'm like 14 minutes behind. Richard, I've been running the CADX on CADX on MGC. I'm running a plan that I think you're familiar with it, and we're working with something like it. I'm running the 1 rather than the 6.2, I'm running a 2.1 cat lines, and with increased target multipliers, and I'm running the 16 or 1.6.4 custom Renko bars there. Wow. Pound Aussie sailing on here. Bounce lines 67, I'm sorry, 74, so 72, 70, 74. Okay, still 74. That is 130. Okay, there is stop out at 74. So that's 131 on the trailer. And we had 60, we had an even 100, so 231 ticks on that trade at pips, getting us all of our 195 pip loss plus 40 or 36 pips. So 36 pip positive session on 3 trades. I haven't looked at any of the range bars on micro gold. I've been working primarily with that 1.6.4. That is really fast this morning. Huge volume on micro gold this morning. 8 o'clock this morning, it was like 677,000 contracts on April. Yeah, it's up to 844,000 contracts today, almost equal to yesterday's total. Looks like. Yesterday was 853,000 for the day, for the whole session. So we've got all afternoon to get above that. Yeah, well, that will be a problem if you're trying to day trade. You don't have enough time to let the trades work themselves out. So what you may want to do is try starting to look at some swing trades and use something like 4 hour or daily charts. And look at some swing trades on. And Micro Russell finally stops out. Okay, soybeans did get into the short. Let's mark that up. Looks like it's hit some targets for us. All right, let's see. That's only 5 ticks to target 1, so money management is going to be minimum 6 ticks, and target 2 will be our first actionable with 2 positions there. So we have got money management. We missed target 2 by 1 tick. Oh, heck. No, we didn't. We don't get into that trade. We just stopped out of this wick, got down and picked up money management, target 1 in money management. So we do not get in sync with that short trade. All right, nothing new on crude since 10 o'clock on my data anyway. Micro NQ, Micro Russell, definitely a winning session this morning. Micro NQ, 3 loss losing session. That depends on what bar you're going to use. If you use daily bars, you would basically come in about 6 o'clock when the session, daily session opens, and look at what the prior bar has done. So what I say 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock Eastern. So what that I'm not sure what your time reference is, but basically you essentially when the session reopens, or when the daily bar will close on the session, and that's shortly after that's when you want to take a look if you're using daily bars. If you're using something like a 4-hour bar, I would still probably look at the daily session, and maybe just what we call snapshot trading, because you really don't want to have to look at the chart every 4 bars. Because you're looking at 6 bars every day, so having to check the charts every 4 hours is not ideal. So you maybe look at a couple of bars a day. For particular trades, something like, let's see, session for you is going to open sometime in the morning, I believe. Is that correct? What is your time zone offset from Greenwich Mean? All right, there's first trade. We got a long and then a short crude. Not a big trade. Money management's down there just below that target that it just hit. And this is why I say trade your charts, not mine. My chart data is lagging today. That's what the trade looks like. Soybeans looking for a new trade. But let's see, we're down to, we're down to the 10 a.m. crude and soybeans, and that's it. So I suspect if we get the 10 a.m. crude to go ahead and resolve on this short trade, yes, for forex. The daily close is like 5 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern U.S., which is, I believe, let's go back and look. It's either 5 or 6 hours behind Greenwich Mean. I don't know what your offset to Greenwich Mean Time is for your local time zone. There's money management on the crude trade. Stock comes to 65.88. One tick from a target. And 77 it looks like. And there it is, target one. So that will be a power quitting trade for the 10 a.m. session. Another one and done, another one and done session on this one. If you use the 20 SMA add-on on the 9 a.m. session, that was a one and done as well. This one's not going to be as big. It's going to be 12 and 16 if we get target 2. And just 28 ticks with target 2, but we're just about there, one tick away. So there it is, target 2. So crude is done. So that's everything except soybeans on my charts this morning. We'll bring unleaded back to the forefront. No, actually, not too bad. Basically, you still want, it's not going to be a huge amount, but you're going to need some. Probably a little bit larger account to swing trade, because you're still going to want to keep your risk at about 2% per trade. So whatever the distance between your entry and your stop, keep that at roughly 2%. Which means your position sizes are going to have to get smaller, or you're going to have to get a little bit larger account, depending on where you are. But with being able to use micros, you can get down to a fairly small account and still swing trade effectively. And you don't want to, if you're swing trading, you're not limited to just trading one or two pairs. You can have 6 or 8 pairs going at the same time, because you're only going to need 3 to 5 minutes for any given pair on any given day. You just need long enough to check it and set up any trades, move any stops, what have you. So it's not going to take long to deal with with, as I say, six or eight different pairs. You want to be careful about choosing pairs that have enough movement and enough volume to get in and out effectively. Because if they're again, just like on the, yeah, okay, Asian session starts for you at 5 a.m. All right, yeah, that so 5 a.m. essentially then is the market open essentially for forex. So then you're about 5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean. Then let's see. No, let's see. 7. You're about either six. You're 6 or 7 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean. But yeah, that's so. Basically, I don't know when you normally get up in the mornings or when you get off work. You mentioned you were a bartender, so you may be working late if you're still up at that point, or whenever you first get up in the mornings, build in enough time to take a look at charts. It doesn't have to be right at the session open. It can be, but you want to make it fairly consistent every day. All right. We're doing very well with that trade. Let's see what time we've got here. Yeah, I'm 20 minutes. I keep getting further behind, so that completes that. Soybeans is not going much of anywhere. It doesn't look like, and we haven't got a trade set up. So yeah, that's the thing to do is look at some daily. Start off with daily charts. I will suggest go to the backpacktrader.com website and get in touch with them. Troy does a forex swing trade alert service where they run 7. I think what it is 8. I think they run eight different charts, or 8 different pairs, 7 different pairs. They run 8 charts on the 7 pairs. Most of all but one of them are daily charts. Uh, they work fine whatever the time frame is. These are all catapult or these are all backpack trader strategies, and that's where all the dots are coming, the entry dots and so forth are coming from. Is from the strategies. And as I say, Counterpunch I know is available for MT4 or MT4, not MT5. Not available for TradingView. Yeah, that's fine. As I say, all of these strategies work on whatever charts time frame wise you want to use them on. It just depends on its trade state. Troy's strategies are coded for TradeStation, for NinjaTrader, and for MT4. Actually, I don't remember if Spotlight is coded for MT4 or not, but I know that Counterpunch is, which is that's the strategy I'm using on soybeans, and that's the strategy that they use for the Spotlight FX alert service. Uh, he does have some things that are coded for Thinkorswim platform. Thinkorswim platform is not a great charting platform. It's outstanding. It's an outstanding platform for trading um, options, but it's not a good. It's very difficult to backtest on, and it's because it's you don't have a choice. It's always showing you what's going on intrabar. It's can be deceiving because your entries move around on the current bar, whereas all of our other charts we print things on the bar close. But yeah, it should now. There shouldn't be a problem with longer time frames, but if you're trying when you're trying to do back testing and that kind of thing, toss the toss platform is difficult to deal with, and it's not a great platform for dealing with uh, charting for futures either. What's that all about? Uh, well, I'm showing NinjaTrader here. What are you trying to trade? And do you already have any of uh, the Backpack Trader strategies, or are you looking at getting into those, or something else? The platform selection depends on what you're trading, what strategies you're using, and what platforms they're coded on. Now, my preference, but that was because I was an Interactive Brokers customer, was NinjaTrader. But that also, if you're looking toward um, getting into a funded situation, NinjaTrader or MT4 are probably the two, uh, depending on forex, MT4, anything else, futures, NinjaTrader, because those that's the primary one of the primary charts. Okay, so you're using you have counterpunch. All right. Uh, yeah. Q. Okay. QQQ, SPY, SPX are all ETFs. So those are not going to be futures. NO is okay. NQ. Yeah, that's certainly NQ can move really rapidly. But yeah, I would say if you're looking toward getting into a funded situation with a prop firm, Now, I definitely would recommend learning and getting used to NinjaTrader. Otherwise, if you're going to stick uh, with the futures for day trading, you TradeStation's problem is a good alternative unless you're going to be trading a lot of options. Um, Toss is Toss is a great platform for options trading. For charting, it's not as good. And what Troy does with he'll chart in TradeStation and place trades in Thinkorswim. Places option trades in Thinkorswim, but he'll run his charting to determine his trades in TradeStation. But NinjaTrader is going to give you pretty close to the same. It's all going to depend on data. You are most welcome. Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to have to get out of here, move on with other things I have today. And I will be back 10:30 Tuesday morning. Okay, as a reminder, regular sessions Tuesday and Wednesday next week. I will be dark from starting next Thursday for about 2 weeks. Won't be back until February 23rd. So everybody have a good one. Hope everybody stays warm this weekend. I know it's going to be cold and snowy here this weekend, but looking forward to seeing everybody again on Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. Have a good one.